All right, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Write It Right, session number 6, everybody. It's a pleasure to have you all. I know the numbers are less than last week or the other week because we canceled the class. And I know some people might be busy. So, inshallah, without further ado, we're going to go through what we're doing today. And we will go quickly and review what we have studied. And the main topic will be on paragraph writing. So if you don't mind, I'd like to know what is an essay. This is a kind of revision for the previous lessons. What are the main components of an essay? You can type this in the chat box or you can raise your hand. In order to write an essay, what should I have? Or what should I write? You can either type in the chat or answer you, unmute yourself. All right, we need to have an introduction, right? What else?
For the paragraph.
Body paragraphs,
For
that's
the
right.
essay.
Mm-hmm. And what else?
Conclusion.
That's perfect. So introduction, body paragraphs, and conclusion. That's perfectly right. Now, in the introduction, what do I need to include? What are the parts of an introduction?
Hook.
Who is speaking again?
Number one is the hook.
Yeah, number one is a hook for the introduction. That's right. And then we have
background information, yes.
Background information, as you guys answered here and here.
And thesis.
And then a thesis statement. And all of your answers are right. Asma, Manal, Tahrid, and Manal and Salwa, all of your answers are correct. So we need to have an introduction, body, and conclusion in the essay. And in the first part of the introduction is a hook, then background information, then thesis statement. Then we move to the body paragraphs, and the body paragraphs are very similar. What are the components of a body paragraph? Or what are the components of any paragraph? To write a paragraph, what do we need to write?
The topic sentence.
We need to write a topic sentence, that's right. What else?
Supporting sentence.
Supporting sentences, right? And the last part of a paragraph is what?
Conclusion sentence.
A conclusion sentence. Or sometimes we call it something else. Remember?
Transitioning sentence.
Transitioning
sentence.
Perfect. Can you tell me when can we call it a transitioning sentence and when can we call it a concluding sentence? You can type or you can raise your hand. So when can we call the last sentence? Okay, who's speaking again? All right, is it Amina?
Yes, Mr.
Go ahead.
If we don't have body paragraph after it, then it will be a concluding sentence. But if we have a next paragraph, it will be a transitional sentence.
Yeah, this is the general rule of thumb, right? This is okay, this is right, this is correct. And sometimes if we need to make our paragraphs connected, then we need to have a transitioning sentence. Sometimes, even within an essay, a paragraph sometimes it needs to stand alone because it's discussing one point. Maybe it's discussing a similarity, or maybe it's discussing a disadvantage. So in this paragraph, which is usually the last paragraph, it tends to stand alone. That's right. Now, here we have thesis, we have transitioning when moving to a new idea. Argumentative, it will be a conclusion. So yeah, for this one I didn't get it. For argumentative, it will be a conclusion. So if you wanted to explain it more, you can go ahead. If you wanted to type, that would be nice too. Now, this is a simple outline and we need to include, or we need to have a simple outline before we start our writing process. And as you guys said, we need to have background, we need to have a hook, background information, and thesis statement in the introduction, and then we need to have topic sentence, supporting sentences, and concluding or transitioning sentence in the body paragraph. And usually we mention that the concluding sentence, the transitioning sentence here in the third body paragraph is an option. Then we move to the conclusion, and the conclusion is made of two parts. The first part is a summary of the main ideas, and then we go to opinions, suggestions, or recommendations based on the topic we are discussing or we have in hand. We have, what's the semi-thesis? Okay, we can discuss that later, Hannah, but we need to focus on that. And I just wanted to mention something here, very important, that this course is designed for intermediate and upper intermediate. So I know some of the teachers are attending, and this can be helpful if you wanted to teach your students how to write, or how to write a paragraph, or how to write an essay. Okay, if we wanted to have an advanced course of writing, absolutely we can do something like that, but we can answer all questions in a course where it's targeting specific audience. Okay, now moving on, once we have an outline, okay, or a simple outline, we need also to do a process of generating ideas. And the process of generating ideas is called brainstorming. And we mentioned before that there are three types of brainstorming. Can you please type in the chat what are the three main types of brainstorming, and how can we make brainstorming generally? If you wanted to speak, you can raise your hand, and then you can tell us your answer. That's right, Taghreed. Listing. What do we mean by listing? And then we have general ideas. Free. Yeah, free what? Mapping. Okay, we have mind mapping, we have listing, and we have free writing. Can someone tell us what's the difference between these three types, and when can we use each? Or can we use all of them together? Some of these types, or one of these types, has an advantage over the others. Can you tell me? Okay, so first choose an interesting topic. This is choosing the topic, right? Then after choosing the topic, we do brainstorm. So you can either mind map, or list, or free write to generate ideas. For listing, you just write a list of the items you wanted to include in your essay. Okay, so if you're talking about advantages and disadvantages of, let's say, technology, we could say advantages 1, 2, 3. We list the advantages, and then disadvantages we list 3 or 4, or whatever the number is. This way will help us, or this technique will help us generate more ideas, right? Then this is a technique which is called listing. Another technique which is called mind mapping. So you draw a circle in the middle, and then you write technology, and then out of this circle you draw an arrow, and then another circle, advantages, and you start clustering or mind mapping to generate. What's that?
خلاص خليك.
Okay, could you please mute yourself, guys? Okay, so we have someone here raising his hand or her hand. Just give me a second. Okay, so go ahead, Hannah. Hannah, you raised your hand. Go ahead. Hannah, do you want to say something here? All right. So going back to clustering or mind mapping, you start with a circle in the middle, which is the main topic, which is technology, and then you draw an arrow and then another circle for advantages, and you start clustering, generating more ideas. Okay. Then you move to the other side, which is disadvantages, and then you start clustering as well. The third type of brainstorming is called free writing. And free writing is you just get a pen and paper and you start writing everything that comes to your mind. You don't need to focus on grammar, spelling, or punctuation. You just need to get all the ideas in your mind out on paper. And this is very important. And this is the most effective way of brainstorming, but it takes longer time. So you can do that and generate more ideas if the other two techniques is not helping you. So if you can't list as many ideas as you could or as you needed, then you might move to mind mapping or clustering. And if you find it's not helping, then you go to free writing. For listing, you could see your ideas in a list. Then you can pick one of these ideas, put them in a body paragraph and explain and illustrate it. But for the free writing, it will be on paper. Everything will be on the paper. So you will need to highlight, underline, and find the important ideas and find the strongest ideas, and then you can use these in your writing. Okay. Uh, we need also to have an outline, and we mentioned that a simple outline is the one that you could see now on the screen. Then we can move to a detailed outline, and in a detailed outline you write everything you have generated in sentences. This is a topic that we discussed before, which is fast food and its disadvantages. And here the hook will be, how many times have you eaten fast food or junk food in a week, or do you eat junk food in a week? And then we give some background information here by telling people why fast food is a byproduct of modern life, why fast food is something that we can't do without in our current life. Then we will write our thesis statement here. Although fast food makes our life convenient, easier, it has several negative effects. This is my thesis statement. And this means that the reader will be looking at the several negative effects of eating fast food. Okay, and in each body paragraph we'll be explaining it in details. Like, this is my first body paragraph, and my topic sentence will be fast food negatively impacts health. This is a preliminary sample. So this is the initiative or the initial sentence. Okay, then when you move your sentences from the detailed outline to write it, you will need to make your sentence more sophisticated. So you'll need to add or generate or change the style of the sentence. Don't try to stick to simple sentences. So we mentioned before that we need to have simple sentences, compound sentences, complex sentences, and compound complex sentences. All right, I have a quick question. Let me read it here. So a vocabulary book for grade 8, 9, 10, to have a variety of vocabulary to write in different topics, you need to know the level of the students. So if they are intermediate students, so the most common book is English vocabulary in use for intermediate or pre-intermediate maybe. Okay, this is a very useful book. Some other books, if you see that they're high, their level is high, then you can use other books. And also, and this is something I recommend for all of like teachers who have intermediate students, you can teach, okay, you can include English grammar in English vocabulary in use, English grammar in use, and English collocation in use. And these are very nice books. And sometimes we use English advanced collocation in use in the university. So advanced is a bit higher for grade 9, 8, and 10 students. So these are the books. Now, moving to, what we were saying here, I was just mentioning that when you write your paragraph, when you write your essay, try to have a variety of sentences. Don't stick to one type, because when you have a variety of sentences, this helps your reader to engage more with your writing. But if they are short sentences, simple sentences, then they will be pausing every now and then to understand what you are. It's like when you're talking in a robotic way. So you say, today I went to the zoo. I went with my family. We had nice time. So it's kind of, it breaks the line of thought. But when you write compound or complex sentences, it takes a while for the reader to pause before a reader could pause. Okay. Now we mentioned also that we do the same for body paragraph 2 and body paragraph 3, but body paragraph 3. And here in the conclusion, we need to restate our main ideas, but in different words. Physical and mental issues are byproducts of consuming fast food. If you look at this, this should be reflecting the thesis statement, but in other words. So although fast food makes our life convenient, it has several negative effects. And here I mentioned what are the negative effects, which is physical and mental issues. Okay. Moving on to today's topic. Now, we finished how to write an introduction last time, and we want to talk about paragraph structure. Could you remind me? I know you told me that body paragraph is made of topic sentence, connecting sentences, or detailing sentences, and then a concluding or a transitioning sentence. Is this correct? All right. Now, let's take a quick look at. Thank you. So now let's take a quick look at a topic sentence and how can we create a topic sentence. So these are the components, we mentioned them before. A topic sentence is a sentence that indicates in a general way what the idea of the paragraph is going to be. Okay, so it gives a broader, 1 second here. I just need to admit some people. Okay. So again, a topic sentence is a general sentence that indicates in a general way the idea of the paragraph, okay? And it occurs at the beginning. Generally, we find the topic sentence at the beginning of a paragraph. Sometimes you can find a topic sentence in the middle or at the end of the paragraph. And this is different from the thesis. A thesis statement generally comes at the end of the introduction. A topic sentence can be in the beginning of the paragraph, middle of the paragraph, or at the end of the paragraph, okay? It could be also listed in the middle or the end of the paragraph, as we mentioned. A topic sentence cannot be a question, cannot be a surprising or definite. This is a hook. If you wanted to hook the reader, if you wanted to make the reader, more attentive or interested in reading your topic, then you hook them with a question, okay? And then there are like thousands of questions. How many times did you look at your phone today? So we're looking at phones. And can you count how many equipment you use today? So we're looking at equipment. You can ask a question to make the reader think of the topic. Then a surprising statistic also attracts the reader. And if you would like to get surprising statistics or surprising statements, it's very, very nice to download one of the apps, the English news apps, and read how they start their news items. So they start the news items. The title is usually a catchy title in order to attract the reader to, oh, I need to know what happened here. Okay. Sometimes it's very catchy that if you compare it with what is written in the topic, it's very, very far, from how the title was interesting. Okay. So a definition can be a hook too. We mentioned this before in the session of the hooks. If you talk about the government or globalization or any big time, definition, pandemic maybe, then you would like to introduce it in the beginning as a hook, so it makes the reader more interested in reading. No, the topic sentence is the beginning of a body paragraph. So now we finished the introduction. The structure of the introduction is different from the structure of any paragraph generally. So if you wanted to write any paragraph, you go with topic sentence, supporting sentences, concluding or transitioning sentence. If you wanted to write an introduction to an essay, then you start with a hook, go to background information about the topic, then mention the thesis or the main argument that you would like to discuss in the essay. Okay, now moving on, topic sentences. A paragraph's topic sentence must be general enough to express the paragraph's overall subject, but it should be specific enough that the reader can understand the paragraph's main subject and point. So we talked about this before, and we had a discussion about the scope of your essay, because you might write a short essay for an assignment. Your student might write a short essay because you asked them to do that. But if you wanted to write a research paper, which is 50 pages, then the scope of the topic will be different, and how general the topic will be based on that. Now, if we look at this example, we have topic and controlling idea. Victoria is a wonderful city to visit. This is our topic, okay? So I'm telling you that Victoria is a beautiful place to visit. And then I'll tell you the controlling idea. What makes Victoria a beautiful place to visit? Because it has an ideal location, beautiful gardens, and interesting things to do. So this is our topic sentence, and it's one sentence. The subject here is Victoria, which is Victoria. Here we have two sentences because this is a complex sentence. Victoria is a beautiful city to visit. This is an independent clause or a simple sentence. And then we have, because it has an ideal location, beautiful gardens, and interesting things to do. And this is our dependent clause, okay? So here the topic is this part, and the controlling idea is the second part. 1 second, let me admit. Okay, we are admitted. Thanks, Mr. A. Now, moving on, if you look at this example here, we have everyone should wear a life jacket when they are on the boat. Okay, this is our topic sentence. Then life jackets have been proven to save lives. No one can predict when an accident might happen. There may not be enough time to put on a life jacket, but if you are already wearing it, it may save your life. So this is a paragraph, sorry, okay? And we have our topic sentence underlined. The topic sentence in this paragraph is underlined, and the rest of the sentences of the paragraph support the topic. Below are some topic sentences. Now we have some topic sentences, and I'd like you to think of what's the topic of this paragraph exactly. So these are not here. This is a topic sentence. Can you think of the topic? Having friends and being a good friend can sometimes be work. So having friends and being a good friend, this is the topic, and this is our controlling idea, okay? So this is a topic sentence. But can you think of the topic of the essay, the general topic of the essay? What can the general topic of the essay be? And you could answer by raising your hand. You can type your answer, or you can speak up. Friendship. That's correct. What are friendship? Most of you are okay. Perfect. This is perfect. Amina, Manal, Jihan, friendship. Okay, that's perfect. Can we make, or can we change? Okay, we can stick with that. 1 second. Friendship, duties of friendship, or duties of friends. That's another topic. Thank you. We can also make it a question, right? The title of the topic could be a question. We could say, how to be a good friend. That's one. Thank you, Salwa. Is it easy to be a friend, or is it easy to have friends? This can be another topic. Thank you. That's perfect. A good friend is hard to find, harder to leave, impossible to forget. That's a big one. Okay, Mohammed, I agree with you. This is very, very interesting. But usually when we think of the title, we try to make our title shorter. Okay, but this is a great one. I agree with that. Okay, let's move to number 2. Okay, let's make friends. All right. Now look at this one here. Reading is the most important subject in school because reading is necessary in order to learn all other subjects. What do you think the topic of the essay could be? Here we have other answers. Friendship became a rare coin. All right. You know, another good word here, Amina, the word commodity. a rare commodity nowadays. Commodity is something that you can obtain. And if you put it instead of the word coin here, this will be a strong one. How can we choose a friend? That's good one side. Okay, the importance of reading. That's perfect. Reading. That's very good. The importance of reading. Yeah, commodity. That's the word. I mean, that's right. Okay, perfect. So this is the topic. This is a topic sentence, and we could see the topics. You get it. You got it. Now let's move to number 3. Cell phones should be turned off during class time because if they ring, they can distract all other students in class. Okay, are you a bookworm? That's a good one. That's a good one for the reading topic, Badriya. That's right. The most important subject, Manel, the most important subject could be right, but it will be very, very general. We need to mention something about reading here. Hossam, the benefits of reading, that's right. Hiba, a day with a friend. Yeah, but it's very far from having friends, right? Moving on, are you a bookworm for reading? That's right. Read to learn about everything. That's right. That's a good one. Classroom rules. Tagreed, that's right. Now, classroom rules, Tagreed, is more general than what I'll be reading about. So if I read the title Classroom Rules, okay, I'll be thinking of you need to take permission before you talk. You need to raise your hand before you eat, maybe something like that. Okay. Mobile phones in school, that's right. Phones in classes, that's right. Can we make it a question? Think of a question for the title. The effects of having phones in class, that's a good one too. The good use for cell phones, yeah. But here, the topic sentence is not about good use. Here, it says that they distract students, right? So could you think of something along this line? Why reading is a subject itself? This is about topic 2. Okay, then yeah, it can be. Is it a need? Okay, hold on here because it's jumping. Is it a need to use cell phone in classes? Yeah. Is it important to use instead of a need? Are cell phones necessary in school? That's right. Are mobiles good or bad at a school? That's right. Should students have cell phones in class? That's another one. May I use my phone in class? Right. That's right, Badriya. Are cell phones allowed in class? Should they be allowed? So, Sarah, right? Do you think it's useful to have a phone in class? That's right. Phones addicted. Okay. I don't think people were looking at phone addiction here. Phone addiction can be a larger one. When I wake up in the morning, I look at my phone. This is phone addiction, right? How far is it allowable? Okay, allowed to use cell phones. Why is that's right? Why is using phones at school not allowed? Right. Why should we ban? This is another word. Why should we ban cell phones in classroom? Is it allowed to turn on your cell phone during a class? Right. To what extent mobiles are accepted? Right. Why phones should be turned off in classes? That's perfect. Why would sorry, what we should do in our classrooms. This is very general, Hala. We need to focus on the cell phones. Is reading a must for studying all subjects? That's a good one for reading. That's correct, Iman. Now, moving on to number 4. After school art programs are a good way for students to have fun, stay out of trouble, and learn about art. Think of the topic of this topic sentence. So this is a topic sentence for a paragraph, but we need to think of the topic. We have here the disadvantages of using mobile phones during lessons. That's right, Hossam. How do cell phones affect students badly in class, right? Art makes it fun. Iman, that's a good one. Is the importance of after school program, art program, right? Just switch it, art program, summer camps. Jahan, this is very general. This, art programs can be part of a summer camp, but when I read summer camp, I'll be thinking of students be going out to parks and doing, lone games or playing lone games, doing other stuff. But when I think of art classroom or art programs, you'll be thinking of students in a classroom. They are drawing, maybe they are playing music if you're looking at music as a kind of art. The importance of after school art programs, that's right. Is a cell phone available in the class? We need to change the word available here, Afaf. We would maybe change it. Um, is a cell phone allowed in the classroom? Okay, or can students use a cell phone in classroom? Is a cell phone available? This is what we need to change. What do you do after school? That's a good one, Badriya, and it's a bit general. Okay, after school art programs. This is to the point. Hana, art makes life better. That's a good one. Lobna, pros and cons of cell phones uses. That's right. Moonlight. But here in this topic, we didn't talk about advantages. We're talking about phones should be turned off, stop, because we are distracted when they ring. The importance of art programs in enhancing kids' personalities. That's a good one, Jihan. Advantages of after school art programs. That's a great one, Sarah. How can you get fun and study at the same time, Amani? That's a good one. After school art programs and its benefits. That's a great one, Hannah. There, how far is art essential? I agree with you that this can be a good topic for this one. But if I read it this way, I'll be thinking of art in general, anything that is related to art, like galleries or cinema or something like that. But we need to make it a little bit specific to art classes. Non-class art activities. I didn't get that. I didn't get that. Could you please rewrite it, Sam? Art is fun after school. That's a good one. How can using cell phones distract students' attention? That's a good one, Amina. How to have fun after school? That's a good one related to that. How can you use your free time after school? That's a good one. How are after school art beneficial for students? That's a great one. How art programs can be good way to spend our free time. That's a good one. Hala, art programs as a means of fun. That's right. Non-class art activities. You mean extracurricular art activities? Is this what you mean? How to have fun after school? Why do most graduates aim at after school art programs, right? The word graduates here will make it a bit vague because we're looking at, when kids finish school, there is an after school program. In Egypt, there is after school program, but in Egypt, we have after school program where we study, where we do extra, lessons on the same topics. Okay. So here we need to think of it this way. Okay. Moving to which I don't I want to miss any one of them. Why do most graduate? So the word graduate will confuse us here. What's the benefit of program of arts and spend time with art and holiday? That's right, Sabrine. But here, this is in the school, not in the holiday. Art sessions and creativity. That's a good one. What can learners do after school? That's a good one. Now, look at number 5. A pet can teach you responsibility, give you love, and there and be there, sorry, and be there when you need a friend. So a pet. Think of a topic of this topic sentence, please. And a pet can be a cat, a dog, a bird, a fish, any of these. My hero pet. And that's a catchy title. Spend fun time with art after school. That's a good one. Do you have a cat? That's right. Do you have a cat? Do you have a pet? That's a good one, Rodri. Thank you. Badria, I haven't seen you for a while. Welcome back. Dalia, having a pet having a pet is very practical. Yeah, but the word practical needs to change because practical here is very general. Okay, if you can think of another term. The pros and cons of having a pet. Okay, we're looking at pros, Manel. Here we're talking about love being there for you and teaching you responsibility. There is no cons here. Having a pet. That's nice. Having a pet. That's a good one. What does a pet learn for us? So, what does a pet teach us? Maybe that's a good one. The positive impact of raising a pet or having a pet. That's a good one, Hussein. My pet is my close friend. That's a good one. Abdul Majid, what are the advantages? The advantages of obtaining a pet. That's a good one, Asma. And then we have do you know that having a pet is beneficial for you? That's right. Catchy title. And this can be a hook also, Salwa. Pet gives us positive energy. That's right. How can you teach responsibility from pet? How can we learn responsibility? Learn with a pet, right? A pet can be a pal. That's a good one. It's advisable to have a pet. That's absolutely a good one. And they usually ask people who have mental problems to have a pet or any other problems just to help them relax. Can I be can it be a quote? Time spent with cats is never wasted. That's right. Yeah, a title can be a topic can be like that. That's right. That's okay, Tari. That's right. I'm always here, Mister. Okay. Right. Thank you. A pet is the human's best friend. That's right. Having a pet means life to some people. That's right. Pet and ties, pets versus human. Pets and ties, pets versus human. I just need this needs to be explained a little bit more. Hiba, Hiba. Sorry. Why do you like your pet? That's a topic. That's right. Pets and humanity. Pets from another point of view. Okay, that's pets and humanity is good. Pets from a different point of view or another point of view, you would be looking at pets from a different perspective, right? And here, these are generally what people will have a pet for, right? Pet is the best friend. That's a good one. Lubna, why do we call some animals pets? Okay, is this a question or a title? Where what we have to take care of the pets like friends. That's right. My pet is the best. That's right. Pets are more loyal than humans. Ah, that's a hard one. That's a hard one, Asma. Okay, why is it worth to have a pet? Amani, that's a good one. Pets and responsibility, and that's a good one. Pets as a friend versus human friends. That's right. Pets are never aging infants. Yeah, that's a general one, Tagreed, and it's not quite related to the points that we mentioned here. Having pets would teach us some good traits. That's right. Thank you so much for all of these wonderful answers. Now we need to move to this one here. If you look at this topic, okay, in each paragraph below, underline the topic sentences. So we need to look at the paragraph, analyze it, and see where is the topic sentence. And a topic sentence, again, contains a topic plus controlling idea. And it has the general idea of the paragraph. Sometimes you'll find it in the beginning, sometimes you'll find it in the middle, and sometimes you'll find them at the end. We got to read the first one. I'll give you 2 minutes to read it and then tell me where is it. Okay? Hannah, you don't have a question? I'll just lower your hand here. Amani, if you have a question, go ahead.
No, I'd like to say to tell the answer. Yeah, me
Okay,
too.
for this question, for this paragraph.
Yeah, for the first
Okay, go ahead.
The topic, the best trip my family ever took was to New Orleans.
Okay, that's right. Thank you.
Till the end.
Yeah, so till the word
I
Louisiana, right?
have another point of view. Can I say it?
Yeah, I just need to know who is speaking because I could see people.
Amani.
Okay, Amani, I'm sorry because I saw another person here, with their mic on.
Okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Never mind. I didn't think it would be very interesting, but I was wrong. I think it's the topic sentence.
So you're looking at
because it includes the point about which the writer will talk about.
exactly.
About is it
That-
right?
That's right. So a topic sentence, Amani, as you mentioned, is the general idea of the top of the paragraph. So if you read anything here, it should be related to this. Okay. So here is they are talking about the best trip my family ever took. So here we drove to. So it explains what's the trip. I didn't think it would be very interesting. Okay, this is not general. This is not related to the topic, but I was wrong. This can't be a topic. Why? Because if I say I don't think it would be very interesting, but I was wrong, we don't have a topic to talk about here. Okay? We could say, for example, if you wanted, you can change this word it to something that shows you the topic. I didn't think our trip to New Orleans, Louisiana would be very interesting, but I was wrong. Then you could explain that later on. But because the word it is here, it makes it vague for the reader to figure it out, right? Thank you, Amani. And now, Hana.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I got it.
Thank you. All right, so Huda.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaykum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I believe the topic sentence from its name, it has to be at the top or at the beginning of the paragraph. And it sums up or it introduces the idea that I'm going to use or to talk about in my paragraph. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
It's all right.
I just wanted to tell you that it can be in the middle and it can be at the end of the paragraph sometimes. But generally, we have it in the beginning. Generally,
Although
yeah. Can you hear me? Huda, carry on. All right, I think she has a problem with the internet. Now, let's move to your answers here. We could see the best trip. All of you got it right. Perfect. So our first answer here is the first trip. Now look at paragraph number 2 and tell me where is the topic sentence. Okay, Tagreed, that's right. Yeah, that's right, Tagreed. Your answer is correct, Tagreed. And your answer is correct, Salwa. Your answer is correct, Badriya. Okay, is it for number 1 or number 2? Just let me know. For number 2, that's right. That's right. That's correct. That's correct. You got it all correct. Right. So in the second paragraph, if you read the first sentence, no one likes to eat with a dirty knife, fork, or spoon. Okay. It doesn't give you a controlling idea. Okay. It doesn't tell you exactly what is happening here. All right. So, but if you read the second sentence, it's important to completely wash all utensils before using them. Then this is the topic sentence because, again, this sentence, the first sentence, supports this idea. And the last sentence supports this idea. That's why the topic sentence here, it's important to completely wash all utensils before using them. Okay. Now, we have Hussein. Go ahead.
Yes, I want to say to the same. In the second paragraph, I think the topic sentence was it's important to completely wash all utensils before using it. Yeah, I think that is the topic sentence, because the second sentence and the third sentence clarify it, and they talk about the importance of it.
Perfect. Your answer is perfectly correct. Thank you, Hossein, for sharing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're most welcome.
Thank you. Hannah, you raised your hand. Go ahead. Hannah, you raised your hand. Do you have a question? All right. So that's right. And you guys got it right. Now let's move to, okay, number 3 and number 4. Look at number 3 and tell me, where is the topic sentence? Where is the topic sentence in number 3? Okay, I see some answers. Please write 3 dot and then tell me your answer, please. Okay, Huda. Just hold on, Huda. You will be speaking first, okay? You know, this paragraph is a bit confusing, so I need you to think clearly of it. Okay, let me read this out loud. Your answer is right, Sarah Ali. Your answer is right, Bedriya Al-Nahrawi. Your answer is right, Taghreed. And your answer is correct, Manal. That's perfect. You did a great job, guys. Okay, for those who think the answer is correct, sentence number 1, think again. Here it says, people think poetry is old-fashioned and uninteresting. This is a claim, okay? And this claim is not going to be proven in the paragraph. That's why this is not the topic sentence. There is another claim that was proven in the paragraph, and this is our topic sentence. Could you find it? Read the paragraph and you'll find the sentence, the claim for, or the argument that this paragraph proved. All right, anyone wants to talk? That's right, Dalia. That's right, Amina. That's okay. We are still looking at number 3. So if you look at paragraph number 3 here, many people think poetry is old-fashioned and uninteresting. They don't realize that every time they hear a song sung, they are hearing poetry in the form of song lyrics. Just like many written poems, many song lyrics are use rhythm, rhyme, and literary imagery. It turns out that here is our sentence. Poetry is not old-fashioned, and it's modern as the latest hit song. So it's old-fashioned? No, it's not. Is it uninteresting? No, it's not, because it's used in everyday songs and modern, forms of songs and art. Okay? So this is not poetry. Many people think poetry is old-fashioned. This is not our topic sentence, because it is not the point that this paragraph proved. Okay, if you read the whole paragraph, you'll find that the whole paragraph is supporting this sentence, is supporting this argument. Poetry is not old-fashioned, and it is as modern as the latest song. Okay, now moving to number 4. Read number 4 and tell me, where is the topic sentence? Is it the first sentence, second sentence, last sentence? Take your time. And if you wanted to talk, you can raise your hand. I really appreciate if you talk. I really like when you guys talk. It makes the class more lively. Raise your hand and you can go ahead and give the answer. All right, let's read our answers here. Okay, Hannah, go ahead.
I think planting the seeds and pulling weeds are good exercise for anyone. Could it be the topic sentence?
Which sentence is that? Is it the sentence in the middle?
Yeah.
I got it. So planting the seeds and putting weeds are good exercise for anyone, right? This is your answer. If you read the whole paragraph here, do all these sentences in this paragraph support that planting seeds is a good exercise?
Yeah.
Okay, all of them.
The first and growing
for
garden
everyone.
can be fun, good exercise. Sometimes also be the, no, the second one is not.
Okay, so if the second one is not supporting this sentence, then this is not related. Then this is not the topic sentence, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so it should be, all of them should be connected. That's why the paragraph should have a unity. And we will be talking about cohesion and coherence today. Thank you so much, Hannah, for sharing. Huda.
Okay, I believe this time it's the first sentence. Growing a garden can be fun, good exercise, and will provide fresh fruits and vegetables for the gardener.
Why? Why do you think this is the topic sentence?
Because, as you said, to Hannah, that all the other sentences are supporting this sentence. This is the main idea. We are talking about growing gardens.
Perfect. So do you see that all sentences support this?
Yeah, I think so. I read them all. I believe that they all support this idea.
Perfect. That's
advising
great.
people. Thank you.
Yeah, your answer is correct. Thank you so much, Huda.
Thank you.
Thank you. Samia, it's your turn. Samia, you raised your hand. Do you want to answer? And I could see that most people here has answered correct. The fourth paragraph, the first sentence is correct. And we could see it here. Let's have it here. So this is our first sentence.
Growing plants are can be fun and fruitful.
All right. Growing gardens.
Plants can be fun and fruitful.
Okay. Where is this sentence? Could you please point to it?
Growing is the first sentence.
Okay,
growing plants can be fun and fruitful.
All right, so we're looking at the topic sentence, and the first sentence here is the topic sentence, as you mentioned. That's right, Samia, right? That's perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, so, and you guys here answered correctly. All of your answers are correct, and we will be moving to supporting sentences. The supporting sentence is also called the body of the paragraph, and they are used to support, explain, illustrate, or provide evidence for the idea expressed in the topic sentence. Okay, so the topic sentence expresses the paragraph's main idea, and then the body of the paragraph develops the main idea expressed in the topic sentence. And you could see that they are very, very related. They must be connected. Okay. We just got a bit confused here. This is the topic sentence, but if you wanted to suggest a topic for this paragraph, it can be any of these topics, like growing a garden, or the importance of growing a garden, or the benefits of having a garden. These can be titles for those who were thinking of a title. But now, moving to the supporting sentences again, we mentioned that they support the paragraph. What should we include, or what can we include in our supporting sentences to make it clear? Now, we have a topic Now, where can I get the information that I can use to support this topic? Here are some examples. Number one, you could use examples or illustrations. So you say, for example, this happens, or you illustrate by explaining, giving details about that. You could also use data, cited data from facts or statistics, evidence, details, and others, okay? This can be taken from the internet, from books, from the news, in order to support your point of view. Also, you could use examine testimonies, like when people say something, like when you say, for example, if you wanted to talk about the importance of teaching English as a second language, right? Then you said English is very important language that everybody should learn these days. And according to Chomsky, maybe, and then you write something that Chomsky mentioned to support this point of view. So this can be a testimony or a quote. Also, you could use anecdotes or stories. You know, you did it correct. All of your answers are correct here. I could see that all of you guys answered. You give very good answers for what could we include in supporting sentences. Examples, explanations. And we have also here the topic sentence is usually it is the general sentence that gives the reader the general idea of the paragraph, and all sentences in the paragraph support it, explain it. This is our topic sentence. Then statistics is right. Can you have many? You can have as many as you wish, and as, again, this question depends on what you're writing, okay? In an essay, for a student in the class in grade 9, 10, 11, or 12, you're looking at 250 words, right? So you're looking at an essay of 4 paragraphs. So you're looking at 5 to 7 sentences, or 5 to 7 lines. Okay, this can be enough. So your topic sentence might be 2 lines, and then you have 4 lines of supporting, and then you have a concluding sentence. But if you're writing an essay for a university, then you'll be looking at, sometimes we ask students here to write 1,000 words or 1,500 words. So the paragraphs will be longer than a paragraph in an essay for a high school student, right? Okay, so giving information, explanation, should the statistics be real? It depends on what you're doing. So if you're writing an essay for IELTS, then you make up facts, you make up these numbers. If you're sitting for a CAN test or CELPIP, and these are standardized exams, then you need to make up these numbers. You can't get real facts. But if you're writing a paper for the university and you're telling your professor, for example, that students or kids who are deprived from schooling in Egypt, okay, this is their number, then this number should be correct because it's a university paper. All right. So generally, no. But if you're writing it for the university, then you have to make sure that these are real stats. Explanation for the topic sentence by examples or statistics, that's right. Giving description, that's perfectly correct. Or you can fake them, okay, to prove your ideas. If you're writing for IELTS, if you're writing for TOEFL, if you're writing for CELPIP, if you're writing for CAN test, all of these, you can make up the numbers, okay? But don't make numbers like very, very strange. Like you say 99.99 of people, just make numbers like 70s or 80% of people, something like that, okay? Events and actions, you could use these if you wanted to tell us, like, to support something, right? Now, moving back, you can also define a term in a paragraph. Like if in my topic sentence, I mentioned that globalization is something that people are, experiencing these days. I will need to explain what globalization is in my supporting sentences, maybe, or if the term is new. Yeah, this is what I was thinking of, because the examples I have are from the university, so it will not be helpful here. Compare and contrast, if you're having a compare and contrast essay, so you could say, unlike the United States, Canada is cold most of the year. This is a compare and contrast sentence to support. Evaluate causes and reasons, if you're writing a cause and effect essay. And also you could examine effects or consequences of something. If you're looking at global warming or climate change, then you could give some examples of how this is affecting our lives. You could look at the increased temperature most of the year, maybe, or the melting of the snow or the ice in the North Pole. Also, you could analyze the topic, and this is in the analytical essay. An analytical essay is a form of argumentative essay. You can describe the topic, or if you're describing, if you're writing a descriptive essay, excuse me. Also, you can offer a chronology of an events. If you have an essay in the university and they ask you to write about the history of education, so you could start by writing about the Catateep time, and then you move to universities or libraries time, and then you move to modern education system. So you have this chronology. So one of the paragraphs might be focusing on a specific stage, and then you need to explain what happened, maybe in the Catateep time, what happened, what did people do. You need to give explanation or support it. Okay, we have giving a description. You can maybe a story. Yeah, Samia, events and actions, that's right. Maybe a story, that's right. If you wanted to, if your essay is like, if you're talking about something real that happened, maybe if you're talking about careless driving, and then you had a friend who, somebody who had got into a car accident because of careless driving, then you could mention this in supporting your topic. Global warming, yeah, this is a very hot topic that people talk about these days. Now, concluding or transitioning sentence, and this is the very last sentence, and this should be at the end. Okay, so for the topic sentence, it can be in the beginning, can be in the middle, it can be at the end. Here, it should be in the end, the concluding sentence. Okay, so please mute yourself, guys. Even if it's not the end of the piece, like if the end, it's not the end of the essay, okay, a conclusive sentence can refer to the last line of its own paragraph, which includes a particular idea or train of thought, okay, before moving onto the start of a new line. Okay. I think one of us is not muted. All right, it's muted. He or she is muted now. Now, again, even if it's not the last or the end of the piece or the essay, a conclusive sentence can refer to the last line of its own paragraph, which concludes a particular idea or train of thought. You're done with this idea. Okay, you have a big picture, which is the essay, and then you have smaller ideas in the middle. You're done with one of the ideas, you conclude it with a sentence, a concluding sentence or a transitioning sentence. All right, moving on here. Okay, this next paragraph can continue on the same idea. The next paragraph, okay, can continue. I'm sorry, this should be the next. The next paragraph can continue on the same idea. If we're looking at similarities between Canada and United States, the first paragraph looking at the similarities of weather, then the second paragraph will be looking at similarities of culture. It's still the similarity, but they are two different ideas. The ending of each paragraph should briefly summarize the information that was provided before moving on. I'd like you to look at this paragraph here and see how this sentence, lose 10 pounds, save some money, or start dating, not dieting, is a concluding sentence for this paragraph. Read it, take your time, and see how this is very connected to the topic sentence and how it concludes it. It's the restatement of the topic. That's right, Hannah. You got it? Now, your goal must be something that you can possibly do. You may not be able to lose 100 pounds, buy a bank, or have 10 children. If your goals seem out of reach, think of them as possible long-term goals and set something more achievable as a short or moderate term goal. Lose 10 pounds, save some money, or start dating. So a last sentence or a concluding sentence, it concludes the whole notion of the essay, sorry, or of the paragraph, because we're looking at paragraphs today. Okay, it can be advice. Usually, it can be advice if you're talking about argumentative essay, maybe at the very end, which is the end of the concluding paragraph, then you can give advice there. But for the paragraph itself, the body paragraphs, your last sentence should conclude the whole notion you discussed. Okay? Now we have people raising their hands. Go ahead. Huda. All right. Samia?
Yes, of course. The conclusion must be the feedback of the subject, which you can speak about it, or the benefit of the subject.
Yeah. So Samia is talking, right? So Samia, when I write a topic, when I write about a topic, let's say I wrote a paragraph about a topic. Let's say I ask you today to write about the weather in Cairo. Okay.
Yes.
So you start by saying the weather in Cairo is hot and sunny, and then you give examples, like you say the temperature is this, and people are wearing, light clothes, or people are drinking like Pepsi or cold drinks, and they are eating ice cream, right? When you end,
conclusion, I can give them advice. You mustn't go out in the noon. You can go after مثلا the sunset. Go out after the sunset.
Perfect.
You can wear light clothes.
That's right. That's right. Now, the final thought you have mentioned.
The conclusion.
The conclusion, yeah. This conclusion, your conclusion is related to a longer essay. So if I'm talking about why should we avoid direct sun, maybe I'm talking to you about why it is dangerous to be in the direct sunlight, then I tell you why you should avoid direct sunlight. I'll give you evidence. I'll give you statistics that people who were like in the sun, they got these diseases, and so on and so forth, until I go to the concluding paragraph. And in the concluding paragraph, I will end it with an advice. So what my point here is you finish your paragraphs with a concluding sentence for the paragraph itself, like this one here.
Yes.
You could conclude your paragraph by a piece of advice if you are writing a longer piece, if you're writing an essay. Okay? Because if I tell you, can you write a paragraph about describing let's say a day in a student's life. So you say that a student wakes up at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock. They take their breakfast before they go to school. They walk, or they take the bus.
They wear school uniform. They have breakfast. They go to school by bus. They had their lessons, 6 lessons, 7 lessons. Between the lessons, they will have a break to eat something or drink something.
That's great.
After school, they go home, and they مثلا have drink, have lunch, then watch TV, do their homework.
Perfect, Samia. I need to stop you here. In the end, in the conclusion here, in the concluding sentence, I can't give advice. We can't say you should be a good student, because I'm a reader, I'm not a student, right? So in this case, your concluding sentence cannot be advice. So it depends.
We can say the ideal student, the ideal day of good students.
Yeah, you can say it this way. Okay, the ideal student should be active, maybe. That's right.
Active.
But again, it should be related to the topic you are writing about. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Sami.
Thanks.
Amina, you had something to say. Go ahead.
Yes. You mentioned before that the topic sentence can come at the beginning or middle or last of the paragraph. Okay. If it comes at the last of paragraph, where we can write the transitional or concluding sentence.
Okay.
That's my question.
When we have a topic sentence at the end, in this case, you don't need to conclude it because you have already concluded your paragraph by your topic sentence. So what is a concluding sentence? If you want to define what's a concluding sentence is a wrap up for the paragraph, right? The end statement of the paragraph, right? You ended your paragraph with a topic sentence. Do you need to restate that, Amina?
Okay. You
You
mentioned
don't.
before that each paragraph has its concluding sentence or transitional one. Okay, if I mention the topic sentence at the end, so where can I write my transitional or concluding one?
We will not need to add a concluding sentence if we used our topic sentence at the end, because our topic sentence included our paragraph. So we don't need to add more concluding sentence. All right. And I need you to think of the word concluding as a wrap up, like a closing. I'm closing my paragraph by this. I'm closing my paragraph by telling you my topic. Then you don't need to hear my topic again, right?
Okay, thanks, doctor.
All right, thank you so much, Amina. We have some questions here. Yeah, Iman, it's a big topic. If you wanted to read about global warming, I can send you some links about that. It's very big topic here in Canada. Okay, please mute yourselves, all of you, because we don't want to disturb others. Okay, now moving on, what do we need to include or what we should not include in our concluding or transitioning sentence? You need to restate the topic sentence using synonyms. But if your topic sentence is the last sentence, you don't need to restate it. Okay? But if your topic sentence is in the beginning or the middle, then you will need to restate your topic sentence using synonyms, using different words. Restate your topic sentence using a different kind of sentence. So if your topic sentence was a simple sentence, it would be helpful if you use a compound or a complex sentence. Wrap up your paragraph. Consider using transitioning words to signify the end of the paragraph. So these words, or we call them transitioning words, they include in the summary, at the end, in conclusion, in fact, indeed. All of these are transitioning words that signify the end of your paragraph. Now, don't copy the exact wording from the topic sentence. Don't take it, restate it again. This is wrong. Include a new topic. Don't include a new topic in your concluding sentence. I'm sorry. Don't focus on small ideas. Like if you give an example, don't restate your example in the conclusion. Think of the bigger or general idea. Okay? Don't start with any of these. And now you know. Or that's the reason, or that's what I learned about, or and that's why, blah, blah, blah. Don't use these sentences. Never use these sentences, all right? Because this is a kind of redundant use of it. I can say my opinion and what I feel with doing my activities. Okay, now I just want you to think in, we have two different cups, okay? The first cup is writing a paragraph as a standalone unit. If I'm writing a paragraph as a standalone unit, my last sentence, we have here topic sentence, we have supporting sentences, we have concluding sentence. This concluding sentence must be linked to that, okay? must be linked to these, the 5, okay? But if I'm thinking about writing a conclusion for an essay, then my conclusion will be a paragraph, right? The first part of the paragraph will be restating all the ideas I mentioned in the essay. And the second part can be my opinion, my suggestions, my recommendations, my advice on the topic. All right? That's pretty much it. Now, can you pick out the best conclusion here? The topic sentence is SeaWorld, an amusement park in San Diego, is a wonderful place for families. This is my topic sentence. Then I give you examples of what people do there, and I give you a picture here. So you could imagine what people do in this amusement park. What should be the concluding sentence in this paragraph? You can type, you can raise your hand and talk. What should be the best topic sentence? Sorry, concluding sentence for a paragraph that starts with this sentence. That's great. All right, that's the Salwa, your answer is correct. Delia, your answer is correct. Manal, Hana, Badriya, all of your answers are correct. That's right. So C is the correct answer because it restates Amani, Amira, Iman, all of your answers are correct. Lubna, all of your answers are correct, everybody, because it restates the topic that we were talking about, okay? If you're ever in San Diego, SeaWorld is one place you would want to visit. Okay, think of this one. Read it out loud if you want it, and tell me what's the concluding sentence here. I love lots of different stores, but my favorite store is Target. Target is the name of a store. What could be the best concluding sentence? Okay, perfect. Sorry. That's right. Lubna, Hana, Amira, Salwa, Hassan, Manal, Iman, Salma, Shayma. All of your answers correct. Hala, Badriya, Dalia. All of your answers are correct. Perfect. It's D, which is for all of these reasons. Target is my top store. Now, can you pick up the best conclusion for this one? My favorite cookies include chocolate chip, sugar cookies, and lemon cookies. Which one is the concluding sentence? Perfect. That's perfect. All of you. Okay. We should avoid D. We can't say now you know more about cookies. We can't say that. Okay. Because now you know is one of the sentences that we should not use. Okay. But the answer is B. All of your answers are correct. Mahrous, all of your answers are correct. All of you, Salwa, Shayma, Mirvet, all of you answers are correct. Mr. Hani, all of you are correct. Perfect. That's right, Lubna. The answer is B. That's perfect. Now, let's go quickly to the main characteristics of a well-written paragraph. And there is a very interesting video, and we will be concluding here because we went over time. I planned already to talk about sentence types, but because of the time, we will
Sorry,
end.
sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Sorry, could you tell me what was the answer? Because could you
Here?
tell me what was the answer for the last question?
For
As
the
I
last,
was,
yeah,
the internet broke down.
no problem. So the answer
Was
here
it
is
B or C?
B. B, because I said here my
C.
favorite
Okay,
cookies,
right.
including, yeah,
Yes, that's what I. Yes, I do it.
perfect. Perfect. Thank you so much. Now we have Amani raised her hand, Iman and Samia. Amani, go ahead. All right, Samia. Okay, if you guys raised your hand earlier, then please lower it down. I lowered everybody's hand now. If you have any question, you can go ahead and unmute yourself, because I muted I lowered everybody's hand. Iman, go ahead.
Hello, doctor.
Hello, Iman.
Yeah, hello. I just raised my hand to say that we can use for the concluding sentence, can use like a question to think about. Like you told us that we if we are talking about the weather, for example, so I can highlight a question like will the global phenomena will affect the weather in the future? So cannot be like this. I'm just asking.
Generally speaking, you can do anything in writing, but if you're thinking of a topic that you're writing about for school and something that you're teaching your students or kids to do, you don't advise them to ask a question at the end. Okay, this is more of a journalistic style. So if you read an essay or a news item, then they would ask you this question at the end to keep the reader more, engaged in the topic, thinking of the topic. But generally for school essays, for school writing, we don't include that. Even for a research in the university, you don't do that. For a research in the university, you need to reach a conclusion. You need to tell your professor, here what I think. You can't ask them a question after you made your argument and you explained it. Okay? But for a news item, that's a perfect one. Because again, the aim of the writer for a news item is to engage the reader, right? They need to keep you thinking of that, and they need to keep you engaged in reading these news items. They wanted you to go back to CBC and read, oh, this is happening, or Masr al-Yawm, or any of the news, okay? The newspaper, right? So that's the main difference between this and that.
Yeah, right? Thank you so much, and thank you for this session. Thank you for always there for us.
Thank you, Iman. Thank you. It's my pleasure. Samia, you have a question?
No, just I want to say the conclusion of the paragraph or essay should be given my opinion about the topic, the subject. If it is advice or warning or supporting the subject, must give my opinion at the last of the subject.
Yeah, we discussed that already, and we mentioned that there are many types of essays, and it differs from one topic to the other, right? Giving your advice is usually at the end of an argumentative essay or opinion essay. This is generally where we add our advice. Thank you so much, Sam. Now, for a good paragraph or a well-written paragraph, you need to have unity. And unity is achieved by keeping details in the paragraph, okay, focused around the central ideas. So the central ideas is weather in Egypt. So everything should be related to weather in Egypt. Coherence. Linking individual sentences within a paragraph should be done in a logical way. The paragraph itself should be connected with the rest of the composition by following natural progression. 1 second, because somebody, okay. Now, back here, the paragraph itself should be connected with the rest of the composition by following the natural progression of thought. Use transitioning words and phrases to ensure the smooth flow of thought. What I mean here, sometimes we write 2 sentences, okay? But when I move from this sentence to this sentence, I feel there is no smooth movement. You need to have a transitioning word here. This transitioning word can be moreover, furthermore, or if you wanted to talk about a contrast, you would say conversely, or on the other hand, okay? Or if you wanted to give examples, then you would say, for example, or for instance. If you use these transitioning words, it makes your paragraph or your essay coherence. More coherent. Now, also, you need to have adequate development. Each paragraph should be long enough to develop in full the main idea expressed in the topic sentence. And I read a funny question about how many sentences or how many lines should be in a paragraph. How many lines? It doesn't matter how many lines. Okay, we're looking usually at number of sentences. In order to adequately support a sentence, you need an argument. You need to have at least 3 sentences. Fast food is dangerous. Fast food hurts your health. This is not enough. Fast food, is expensive. This is not enough. You need to have more than 1 sentence if you wanted to say that fast food is bad, maybe. Okay? Usually, the least is 3 sentences. And sentences here means sentences. Okay? And again, it doesn't matter the number of lines because we are making sure that these 3 sentences are different types of sentences. One of them might be simple, the second one might be compound, and the third one would be a complex sentence. In this case, you made sure that these 3 sentences are enough to support your argument. All right? We're looking at sentences. It depends again. If you're looking at the least number of sentences, for me, I would go for 3. For what I teach, I go with 3 sentences. 2 compound and 1 complex, maybe. Usually, university students don't write simple sentences. They focus more on compound, complex sentences. But it's important to have also the question of the difference between cohesion and coherence will be answered in this video, Hala. So yeah, but usually you need to have a variety of sentences. Okay. If you have any question about that before we move to the video, please type it or raise your hand because we'll move to the video and we will conclude with the video. Okay. Any questions? All right. We don't have any question. Now, I will leave you with this video, which explains cohesion and coherence and the difference between them. And then we will have 4 or 5 minutes at the end to take your questions. Okay? So watch this video and then we will have the questions after that. Okay? Can you hear it?
Today I want to.
Okay.
Yes, we will. Yes, we hear you.
Perfect. Could you please mute yourself, all of you, so we don't want to disturb anybody? Mute yourself, please. And here we go.
Today I want to talk about 2 important things, cohesion and coherence. First of all, let's define our terms. Cohesion is said to be the glue that holds a paragraph together. In other words, if a paragraph has good cohesion, then we say the ideas flow from one sentence to another sentence smoothly. They're connected, if you would. The end of one sentence is related to the beginning of the next sentence. When we talk about coherence, we are talking about how clear and how logical the ideas are. In other words, how well can a reader understand each sentence and how it relates to the other sentences and how it relates to the main idea. Basically, a passage has cohesion and coherence when it flows smoothly and it makes sense. So when a paragraph is choppy or the ideas are hard to follow, it's because it's not cohesive. And likewise, when a paragraph is hard to understand or is somewhat confusing, we say it is not coherent. Let's look more closely now on how to develop cohesion and coherence in our passages. Let's look at these 2 passages. Which one has better cohesion? When cats are hungry, they rub on your leg and demand immediate attention. However, when they are satisfied, they find a quiet place and sleep. Number 2. When cats are hungry, they rub on your leg and demand immediate attention. They find a quiet place and sleep when they are satisfied. So which passage is easier to read, the first one or the second? The first passage is more cohesive because the ideas in the first sentence flow smoothly to the second sentence. Cats are first satisfied and then they find a quiet place to sleep. In the second passage, the last sentence comes to us almost as new information. Let's look now at another set of passages and ask the same question. Which one is more cohesive? Thousands of people visit Yosemite National Park each year. They come to experience the natural beauties of the magnificent rock cliffs and to enjoy the great outdoors. The rock cliffs pose a great danger from rock slides. Passage number 2. Thousands of people visit Yosemite National Park each year. They come to experience the natural beauties of the magnificent rock cliffs and to enjoy the great outdoors. However, what they do not realize is that as beautiful as they are, these rock cliffs also pose a great danger from rock slides.
I'll just give you 1 minute to take a quick look at these two paragraphs before we continue.
So which passage is easier to read, the first one or the second one? The second passage tends to flow smoother because the last sentence doesn't redirect our attention to the rock cliffs like the first one does. Let's move on to coherence now. A passage can be cohesive, but it may not be coherent. In order for a passage to be coherent, readers first need to clearly identify the topic of each sentence, and then they need to be able to recognize how the sentence topics connect to each other and to the main idea of the passage. Let's look at this passage. It starts off well. We can even say it is cohesive, but it doesn't have coherence. Apple computers have become increasingly popular, especially in educational and media circles. With their user-friendly no bells and whistles styles, they soon become a standard. Apple computers offer virtually an endless resource to simple yet effective software. Software is key to building success in a global world. When the world became globalized, many difficult issues began to emerge. The passage is rather difficult to read. It begins by telling us how Apple computers became popular, but it ends with global issues. The passage seems to flow, but the topics in each sentence are really not connected to each other, nor are they connected to the main idea. Let's look now at a coherent passage, written by a Dr. Branschik, published in the Psychology Today magazine. Your goal must be something that you can possibly do. You may not be able to lose 100 pounds, buy a bank, or have 10 children. If your goals seem out of reach, think of them as possible long-term goals and set something more achievable as a short or moderate-term goal. Lose 10 pounds, save some money, or start dating. So we ask the question, is the passage cohesive? We have to say yes. Each sentence links to the one before it and links to the one after it. It's easy to read. Is the passage coherent? Again, we have to say yes. We are able to identify the topic in each sentence, and each sentence supports the main idea.
All right. So let's get back to here. Okay. I think we got some questions here. Okay, so let's take a quick look at the questions. All right, that's number one, press the second one. Okay, so we don't have any question. Perfect. We don't have anyone raising their hand. You guys have any questions so far? If you wanted to ask any question, please raise your hand. Or you can type the question in the chat box. Okay, if you don't have any question, we went way over time tonight. Thank you so much for joining the class, and I'm looking forward to meeting you next week, inshallah. And okay, let's call it a day. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Have a great night.